Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm back to discuss with you how the previous week, which is module 44, has been going on. I wanted to share with you. I'm a data science student at Brototype. So currently in 34th module, I started studying big data technologies like Hadoop and Spark. So, particularly, I had to cover the theory of Hadoop and also a little bit practicals of it. And then I jumped into Spark, covered the theories of it as well as practicals of it. I During this week I had a lot of struggles. Uh, even even I Even when we think about the case of studying those topics, I struggled when covering the theoretical topics as well as when covering the practical ones. I realized that to master practical areas, we need to practice. I didn't practice, yeah. I didn't start practicing it. That's the main issue. Okay, I'm yet to start it. Uh, so you may ask me what the hell I was doing till now. Well, I was also researching about the project that I have to do, the entire data pipeline which I will have to create. I was working with that. I had to work with it and I had to set it up an entire data pipeline where data need to be ingested from some place that which is then transformed using Spark and which is then stored into a data warehouse, particularly in HDFS, as I'm working locally without using any cloud services. So really struggled. I think after many weeks, I'm experiencing this feeling of feeling like I'm not enough. I don't feel like I can do this. I'm failing. I'm failing to understand these topics. These thoughts have again risen up and started to haunt me. I thought that this was over, but I realized that whenever we start our journey, whenever we start doing something new, we always feel this thing that I'm not enough. But I realized that I am failing at this. I'm not capable of doing this because I'm doing Spark. I'm implementing Spark for the first time. And since I'm doing it for the first time, I will surely suck. And if I suck, it means that I'm willing to do something that I have no knowledge about without the fear of failure. So it means that I'm growing. So it just means that I need to suck more. And while I'm sucking, I need to understand why I suck. I need to find the root cause of it, solve it, become better in it, and suck in something else. That's what I need to try to do. This is something I realized. I need to suck more and more and more in different things. And as along with sucking at these topics or sucking at these areas, I need to become better at the areas where I suck, where I fail. This was something truly mind changing. I started to see the topics. I started to see myself in a different way. Actually, I should admit that I started to put this perspective into my mind only after discussing what I have been going through with you. When I shared the things in my mind, I really felt so calm and I could see a vivid picture of where I want to be and what I have to do. So, these were the main things that were going on in my life. So, I believe that you got a vivid picture of the topics which I had to study, the mini project which I had to do along with the topics I studied, and also as part of the practicals in the review, that is in the exam, I will have to implement an entire data pipeline where data is ingested from a data source which is then transformed using Spark, then or if possible, using DBT, it is transformed into curated data layer which can further be used for other application purposes like powering up dashboards or to use that data for training ML applications or ML models. So this is what I mean by an entire data pipeline. The purpose of a data pipeline is to collect raw data and transform it and spit out curated data which is so clean which can be used for an application to do some work for some other applications. So this is the purpose of data pipelines. So then, oh, now I realize that I forgot to tell you about the big data technologies. The big data technologies is about distributing the data that we have into multiple nodes or multiple computers. Why? Because assume that we are dealing with terabytes of data. It may not be possible to store huge amounts of data into a single computer, right? So then what will we do? Then we will store this data in multiple computers. We will distribute the data that we have across multiple nodes or computers. This is what we know by distributed computing or distributed storage. And then we perform processing or transformation on the data which is distributed across the cluster. And this is known as distributed computing. So the whole technologies behind distributed storage and computing is known as big data technologies. Hadoop and Spark are core areas or core parts of the technology. Hadoop is primarily a traditional approach of dealing with big data, while Spark is a modern approach where Spark has replaced many counterparts of Hadoop. It has actually replaced a lot of things which were used earlier as part of the Hadoop ecosystem because Spark is so faster compared to MapReduce of Hadoop. So that's the main reason. So if you want to know more about it, you can research about it and you will find cool resources that help you to understand deeply about it. So I believe that you got an understanding about how this week was, what were the topics which that I had to study, and how those topics actually had an impact, how those topics were performing, and how I performed in it. I hope you understood it, and so we can see next week. And signing off, it's Navi.